I told you that feeling in your gut, that feeling that something doesn't add up, that there's more to the story than what you've been told? What if you were right all along? What if everything you accepted because it's what you were always taught in school, church, synagogue, or mosque is not entirely accurate? What if I told you that I speak the same words that Abraham, Moses, and Jesus spoke, and that to understand them, no translation or interpretation was needed, because the meaning of those words has not changed or evolved over time? What Jesus said then is the same message I have access to now, because the language we have in common is the same. Would you believe me? Oh boy, let me get my glasses. All right, so I asked, when were the first words in the Bible written, right? In the beginning. And in the beginning is something I can translate, and we're going to read the translation they provide here today. But anyways, it says, the opening words of the Bible in the beginning, right? Genesis 1:1. And I believe also in the New Testament, we'll talk about that later. But right now, Genesis 1:1 were likely written down between 8th and 7th century BCE during the early monarchical period of Israel, right? So early monarchs, kings. While oral traditions existed earlier, scholars generally placed the composition of the Genesis creation account in the Hebrew Bible around 900 to 500 BC. All right, good. So, earliest composition, the creation narrative was likely written between 900 and 586 BCE. Alternative viewpoints, some scholars suggest the earliest written texts, potentially including Genesis, date to the 8th, 700-ish BC, or 7th, 600-ish century BC. And that the oldest evidence to prove this was from the Dead Sea Scrolls. So I'm like, okay, I remember the Dead Sea Scrolls were something very recent growing up as a child, right? And very recent, I mean like in modern history, right? And I remember it being like Indiana Jones times almost, like maybe even like later. So I looked that up, and yeah, I was pretty much right. Yeah, it says the Dead Sea Scrolls were initially discovered by Bedouin shepherds between 1946 and 1947. A lot of important things. If you're Middle Eastern history buffs, you know what's going on in that area around that time, right? So I'm Assyrian, and I'm like, okay, I was always told by my parents that Jesus spoke Assyrian. And everyone says no, he spoke Aramaic. So I asked straight up, did Jesus speak Assyrian? Yes, Jesus taught and spoke in Aramaic. So it said yes to did Jesus teach and speak in Assyrian, only it answers with Aramaic. So it agrees, but it's saying that the terminology it exemplifies through is Aramaic, specifically Galilean dialect of it, while the term Assyrian or Neo-Aramaic, a descendant of the language, historical consensus confirms that Jesus used the Aramaic language, which was the lingua franca of the region, heavily influenced by previous Assyrian and Babylonian rule. What does that mean? Heavily influenced by. Well, to me, what it means is that there's not a lot of people left in this world that speak the language that Jesus spoke. And mind you, this is an unbroken language too. So it's not reconstructed like Hebrew is, and it's not a dead language. It's a language that never died. It just kept going since Jesus' time till today. So word for word, there's people that know exactly what Jesus said, and there's no debate for interpretation when it comes to that. And yet, these people are not heard at all. They're not even acknowledged. And I find that really weird. I mean, don't you guys? Leave me something in the comments. So I think the best way to really get in touch with who Jesus was would be to find a friend in an Assyrian. And let me tell you, they're really hard to find. But I've opened this channel for a positive discourse, and I hope we can all learn from each other. Bereshit is the first word of the Torah, Genesis 1:1, translating to in the beginning, composed of the prefix be. In, it, at, Bereshit. And Reshit, beginning, source first, it signifies the origin of creation and the start of the annual Jewish Torah read. Okay, great. Now in Assyrian, in the beginning is a little bit different, but Bereshit also is an Assyrian word, and it means the head of, right? So it could be like the oldest son is Bereshit Qinna, which is the head of all his siblings. So Bereshit could also be used as something that is in a renewal state. And in spring, for example, we come to the top of the new year. Bereshit New Year. We start all over again. So it's kind of like cyclical. So whether you're the firstborn son or the beginning of a new year, it's not the beginning. Firstborn son has a father. He's not the first technically. And the beginning of the year is just a cycle phase. It's not a beginning. It's just a renewal. In the beginning, the first words of Genesis translates to Shuraya. Now, Shuraya is truly the beginning in its true context, in its true meaning, in its true form. Why this is being kept out, I don't know. So Shuraya means beginning, and in the beginning would be said as Ashuraya. And that's been taken out. And coincidentally, Ashur is the name of God. And the person who made the beginning possible is God. So before that, words were not even a thing. So the name of God is the beginning, the first word. And in addition to that, let's not forget the name of God, which was at some point translated to I am who I am, but Ashur is in the middle there. It's completely discredited. Because we trust the authorities on language, that people sit down and study these words, right? Well, Assyrians don't need to study them. I've explained what it means. Ashur is the proper noun, the name in that statement. But they make it inconsequential. They don't even capitalize it, and they say the meaning of it is that. So the name of God, Ashur Chaya, and in the beginning, which is also the name of God, have been yanked out of the Bible by people we put our trust into to translate the truth, and we didn't know this until today. Well, I hope everyone had a good time, and I hope that we can keep learning from one another. Please drop a comment. Let me know what you think of this latest video. It's a little different, but I don't know. I think it's working. Pushim Shen, everyone. Chaya, Ashur Chaya.